Oh no! After the dragon was robbed of its first kiss by the knight, turned into a girl. Dragon Valley Fire. The princess in the dragon cave is bound by chains. Suddenly the dragon was slammed to the ground by a force. Look up. A man hangs in the air, casting a spell against the dragon. I saw a magic array suddenly appear under the dragon. The ice spirits everywhere trapped him. The dragon was obviously afraid. The princess who was locked on the side became obsessed. To reward him, prepare to bestow upon him the highest honor as a knight. Kiss the princess' toes. But who knew that the seventh world smiled evilly? Said he wasn't here for the princess. From start to finish. He's only here because of this dragon. Dragon hearing. Blushing. Some embarrassed and narcissistic knight Kugai. Look restored, calm down and say it's boring to take the princess. Homeopathically push your hands up. Blue light burst. 3 swords in 1. Hit the dragon. My name is Zhao Bai, a well-deserved gaming genius high school student. But unfortunately he was caught by the teacher. 1 hit put me in the game world. From then on I became one with the male protagonist of the game. At this time a roar suddenly came from the soles of his feet. It's a dragon that was just slashed in the game. But because Zhao Bai is not familiar with the body, unable to control body falling straight. That's okay. As soon as you cross, you will be eaten by this dragon. Who would have thought that the right time, the right place and the right person? The dragon stole his first kiss. The princess is eating a melon. The flying sword just broke his chains. Say nothing. Ran out. The shy dragon's eyes are full of anger. Abnormal humiliation. A mouthful of dragon fire sprayed on his head. The burnt Zhao Bai fell straight to the ground. Suddenly the dragon glowed with golden light. I saw a soft little foot stomped on Zhao Bai's face. Family. After I kissed this dragon, it actually stuck. I got it. What do you do? Zhao Bai travels to the game world. After accidentally kissing the dragon, he turned into a good girl. He looked up. Intoxicated. Grinning smirk. Dragon Lady was furious. Slapped Zhao Bai's face with his tail. I saw him grab his tail subconsciously. Strange that the Dragon Lady turned red. Raise your head and yell. He looked at the tail in his hand. A face of disbelief. This dragon is afraid of this. Zhao Bai sees this. Eyes narrowed. Enable crazy revenge mode. Suddenly a voice came not far away. I saw the shadows of a pair of guards reflected on the stone wall, heading towards them. Zhao Bai is a little unhappy. She turned to look at the Dragon Lady's tail. I thought it was wrong for the tail to fall outside, so immediately grabbed the tail. Stuff it into Dragon Neong's clothes, and the guards happened to be in front of them. See this picture in front of you. Can't help but complain. The leader of the guard looked awkwardly at the Dragon Lady. Said to bring the princess back to the palace. Zhao Bai heard. Aren't they afraid that this dragon will be regarded as a princess? The guard scratched his head and explained that the princess had seen it before. But the princess was a child before she was kidnapped by the dragon. The leader finished speaking. Stand up. Invite the Dragon Lady posing as a princess. Zhao Bai, who reconciled and rescued the princess, returned to the palace to be rewarded. Zhao Bai heard. This kind of good thing must be cooperated with. He turned to Zhao Chun and told the Dragon Lady to ask him to be obedient. Dragon Lady pouted. Thinking about the picture just now, show a look of dissatisfaction. And so on and so forth. They walked towards the palace. Zhao Bai thought to himself that I can't do it in reality. In the game I have to be torn up. This dragon can. Is something real? In the palace, the king commanded his servants to hold a feast for the princess and the knights. Dragon Lady in a princess dress. Look at this table full of delicious food. Zhu DC. The king looks at his daughter whom he has not seen for 10 years. Old tears. The prince next to him has a face of eating. Look at the Dragon Lady. I can't help but praise this daughter-in-law for being more powerful than I expected. At this time, Longyang town is gearing up. Eaten the whole chicken in one bite. And the crowd opened their eyes. Shocked face. Suddenly the door was slammed open. A beautiful girl appeared in front of everyone. Said the princess was an impostor. She is the real princess. Zhao Bai looked incredulous. The contrast is too great. The delicate princess of the cave is now a wild king. I saw her pulling the king's collar and shaking wildly. Mouth fragrance. The king seemed to remember something. Excitedly surrounded the princess. Yeah, that's right. That's the smell. Zhao Bai sees that the situation is not good, ready to sneak away. Suddenly a sword flew by. Directly blocked his path. The princess misspoke about impersonating the princess. It's not settled yet. Zhao Bai turned around, embarrassed to say hello. The princess was stunned. Pointed at Zhao Bai and shouted loudly, since it was you. I saw that the princess suddenly thought of something. Red face with a very aftertaste expression. But in the blink of an eye I saw a gluttonous woman. And complain angrily. Since Zhao Bai is so quick to move on. So he slapped the food in the hand of the Dragon Lady. Long Niang opened her mouth angrily. A flame directly buried the princess. The burnt princess can't freeze. Give an order to behead the two. Zhao Bai immediately summoned the sword. Hack down. I didn't expect the sword to fail at this moment. The princess has a rare opportunity to see. Take the sword and cut it down. Then a huge dragon wing suddenly appeared. Slap hard at the princess. Dragon Lady bowed her head. He said impatiently that you dare to touch my toy. The dragon warrior saves the princess. After being kissed by the dragon, it actually became a long-term meal ticket for the dragon. Could another dragon knight be born? Zhao Bai travels to the game world. After rescuing the princess from the dragon cave. Since the princess wants to kill him, is resisting, but he was ripped off by the game. I became a poetry player. The princess became the NPC of justice. The princess stands on the high ground of moral justice. Condemned Zhao Bai. Destroyed the human beast CP he knocked in the last sentence. Betrayed the innocent feelings of small touch. Hit Zhao Bai as soon as you see it. Just when the princess was about to swing her sword and cut Zhao Bai. Suddenly a pair of dragon wings spread, fan the princess directly out. It can't be buckled out even if it hits the wall. I saw the dragon lady walking slowly, grab Xiaobai lying on the ground. Press it in your arms and tell the princess that I have enjoyed you for a long time. Since you pair Wu with this stinky pig, he's just my long-term meal ticket. Just after the dragon lady revealed the voice of the dragon. This is how a normal person would react to a dragon. Panic. Crying father and mother. Run away. And the king's family saw the dragon like this. Kings and princes are addicted to the cage. Love. Nosebleed. Only the queen remained calm. But the deep jealousy is already obvious. As expected of royalty, it's really different from normal people. Escaped servancy. The dragon has come out of the Dragon Valley. The news reached the saintess on the other side. Sleeping saintess. Saint Cassiopeia is suddenly awakened by a nightmare. The Virgin was sweating profusely. Just at this moment, a person came in. The Virgin looked up. Is the Count of the Saintess. Zi Lihong. Why are you here? I don't know why. Saint Feather's face turned red when he saw the Count. The Count said he brought news about the dragon. As he spoke, the Count took off his coat and walked towards the saint. The Count pinched the saintess's face. It seems that you are afraid of that dragon. Let my subordinates sleep with you tonight. My name is Xiaobai. Because of playing games in class, the teacher hit the game world with a stick. Originally, the knight saves the princess. Now it's haunted by a dragon. And now the princess and the dragon are going to duel because of me. The war is about to break out. On the other side, I don't know. The first ray of sunshine in the morning. On the body of Saint Cassiopeia. But when the Virgin was still asleep, Cat Girl Loki's has brought news of the dragon. However, he spent the night with the saint like the Count. The act of having subordinates work hard to gather information. Express dissatisfaction. The Count smiled wickedly. I can't do it while wearing gloves. Guardian the sleep of Her Majesty the Saintess. As a Count. He turned to Catwoman and Wolf and said, Are you jealous? Rockies. Loki's flatly denied that I didn't. Since there is no, then hand over the information you have collected. Good guy. I want it right after flirting. Information cannot be given to you easily. If you want it, you have to show sincerity. Sincere? The Count suddenly smiled strangely. The atmosphere becomes ambiguous. I saw the Earl with lightning speed. Reach out your hand. Look at the cat girl's expression. Everyone's own brain. It's inconvenient to say more here. Then he pulled out the information that the home was there. Taunting, isn't that what you want? Always remind others to pay attention. That. Open the information and take a look. Good guy. I am handsome. Suave. A generation of dragon knights was turned into a loser by you. Thank you for being insulted. Back to the main battlefield. The war is heating up. Although this picture is very tragic, but the feminine fragrance revealed in the gunpowder smoke, it's addictive. Okay. I admit I'm a loser. The princess brought out his Italian cannon. Long Jiang also moved out of the lore. The dragon roars. Princess is resisted. Angry. Shoot directly at the dragon lady. I didn't expect the cannonball to hit Long Niang. Dragon lady made a comfortable voice. The princess can't hold back. Direct bursts. The picture gradually becomes strange. Suddenly, the dragon lady shouted, "Enough is enough. Can't take it anymore. If this goes on, I will go take a bath." Saying that, he changed his wings and was ready to take a bath. But the princess couldn't take it anymore. Just take out the oversized shells. I don't care how the barrel feels. Just tucked it in. Pull the rope and shoot in one go. Huge shells come straight for the lava. Just at this moment, thunder soared. I saw several thunderbolts strike down the thunder barrier. Protect Dragon Lady within the barrier. I'm finally back in the male lead role. Fight. It was too violent. But you're going to say women fight. Then I won't be sleepy. My name is Zhao Bai. I thought the battle between the princess and the dragon lady. It's the kind of stop. Women know how to fight. But who would have thought that princesses have no martial arts ethics? A huge cannonball intends to send Long Niang to the west. Fortunately, my lightning barrier was activated in time. Blocked the cannonball. See the beautiful dog game. Compared with Lao Tzu, you are a brother. The system looked at Zhao Bai's friendly international gestures. A thunder directly smashed the floor in front of Zhao Bai into powder. Zhao Bai and Dragon Lady haven't sighed yet. The quality of the princess's floor is too poor. It's in free fall. Good guy. The system is really rubbish. Really can't afford it. Just as Zhao Bai closed his eyes tightly, when ready to kiss the ground, Dragon Lady shows her true body. Catch it firmly. Dragon Lady saw that Zhao Bai was safe and sound. The mouth begins to be arrogant. I want to save you. It's that you happen to fall on me. Then the huge dragon flapped its wings through the roof of the palace, soaring into the sky. Light, look at yourself as if the palace has been bombed. Weeping. On the other hand, the disheveled prodigal princess. In their eyes, only Zhao Bai and Dragon Lady ordered people to chase after them. On the other hand, Zhao Bai can breathe a sigh of relief first. After all, now, at this speed, they can't catch up. Fortunately, you can fly. As he spoke, Whitey touched the dragon's smooth scales. Ah! Crow can't fly. Not since childhood. What are you doing now? Zhao Bai was stunned. After saying that, the dragon was also stunned. I don't know. The result can be imagined. One wave unresolved and another wave. Free fall. The two fell into a thatched hut. The cows were originally grazing in the thatched hut. I was also taken aback by these two foreign visitors. And then a calf takes a look. The person left behind is bigger than his mother. Although Zhao Bai can't understand bird language. But I heard a good scumbag. Immediately approved of the calf's words. It's okay, Dragon Lady, I'll get it off for you, and it won't be slag. As he spoke, he intended to extend his sinful hands to the Dragon Lady. But just then, the crisp sound of a kitchen knife came from behind. Let Zhao Bai crouch. I saw the owner of the house sitting at a table, looking at the two people who are ready to dance knives and guns. It says outside the door closed on Sundays. But the boss, this is an exception for the fresh goods you brought. After all, this is the first time I have tasted dragon veins. I have tasted any milk. I just never tasted dragon milk. The lady boss has a unique taste. The lady boss of this cowshed actually plans to taste dragon milk. Zhao Bai immediately refused, sorry. Our dragon lady doesn't sell that stuff. But the voice just fell. A kitchen knife brushed his hair. The lady boss pinched it all. I advise you not to be ignorant of praise. No one can refuse her. I am the strongest emperor of the Islamic Empire. Emperor. Zhao Bai looked up and down this crowded, leaky cowshed. Can't help but smile contemptuously. Here it is. The lady boss blushed. I feel that Brother Niu has been insulted. I hurriedly explained that if I hadn't slept late that day, missed the emperor's exam, otherwise, with the excellent genes of your own family, become an emperor. That's not a matter of time. So, your family is so outstanding. Can't even afford a bed? Zhao Bai continued to mock. The lady boss told him to shut up. You have to sell this capacity today. If you don't sell it, just tame the legendary dragon. Let it join the animal husbandry. By then, the yellow sand will not be enough. The imagination is not over yet. Dragon Lady has a tail. Slap on the other party's undulating chest. Such a humiliation. The lady boss can bear it. Immediately, tears flickered in the corners of my eyes. Aggrieved. Long Niang is still wronged when she sees the other party. And he goes up and he's punched and kicked. A mere herbivore. Now I know I'm wronged. Come. Fill up the milk. Zhao Bai looked at the spring garden in front of him. Can't help but sigh. I thought this lady boss was a king. Now it seems to be a black iron waste. But I give this picture full marks. Just then, dressed princess led a group of soldiers to chase this place. It's haunting. The princess also directly asked the soldiers to inquire. But the soldiers under him took the wanted notice and asked on the spot. Just you calf. Has anyone seen the portrait? The princess is also dressed. You ask a calf. Can people know? Come. Don't make it difficult for children. Ask someone's mother. Cowfuck. This is retarded. Zhao Bai looked at the princess's improper operation. Also served. This game is really modeled with heart and made with feet. IQ, right? And the lady boss is also worried about her IQ. He actually thought that the princess in front of him was the incarnation of the Valkyrie. Shout immediately. I plan to give up Zhao Bai and Long Niang. But I just shouted halfway. Dragon Lady Tail strikes again. To shut up the lady boss. Zhao Bai and Dragon Lady really took great pains. A contributing tail. One handles people up and down, of course. Just pinched each other's tail. But the pincher is useless. Look at friendship. Dragon Lady. But a different emotion came to mind. I like it in my heart. Zhao Bai seems to be getting more and more proficient in this technique. Just when Zhao Bai realized the atmosphere in the cowshed is going in a strange direction, Dragon Lady also hurriedly withdrew her tail. Do you curse yourself for being dirty? How can you think of such a thing? And the lady boss is panting heavily. Great Saint Herzer. How can you treat future imperial merchants like this? The female god of war will never let you go. Hear this. Zhao Bai pressed it against the wall. Gently raised the other person's chin. So we're leaving. You're going to tell, aren't you? That being the case. Little Silver had a sullen face. Put your hand on the boss's shoulder. I thought it was the rhythm of the silence. But what I didn't expect was Zhao Bai actually carried the lady boss on his shoulder. Now that we're gone, you'll tell. Then I'll take you with me. And of course that's a lie. Zhao Bai's original intention, in fact, it is to make their own collection. One more black girl. But this time Dragon Lady did not object. After all, I don't want to be pinched by my tail anymore. There happened to be this black calf in his place. And this time, the mentality of the lady boss has also changed a little. Aren't these two bad people? Although I don't know how the lady boss did the strategy. But the three borrowed a forest behind the cowshed. While the princess is still there, ask the cow about the landscape pet. But not 2 steps. Zhao Bai thinks the lady boss is too heavy. And Dragon Lady is also a little hungry. The two hit it off. The princess can't find Zhao Bai and Dragon Lady here. Righteous gulps of milk. Just then, The princess brother suddenly appeared. Show that you have a way. The princess said to sit where it was cool. A rubbish snack full of women. What can I do for you? But don't say it. Princess brother, nothing else. But for women, the solution is breathtaking. Just a kiss on the nose. He found the direction in which the three of Xiaobai left. The princess who knows the direction. Naturally, he is going to pursue with a sword in hand. It's just that he doesn't know it yet. Follow along, brother. All I can think about is German orthopedics. The princess and her brother. The two broke into the forest, just to find Xiaobai and Dragon Lady. These two entered the forest. I don't know what happened. But here's what we know. Xiaobai and Long Niang are lying on the grass. Hungry chest back. Feed on ear. Dragon Lady also complained. I knew I wouldn't let that little black cow go looking for food. The voice just fell. The lady boss came out of the jungle with some fruits in her hands. The lady boss is beautiful. Click output at an apple. Dragon Lady looked unhappy, saying I want to eat meat. The lady boss also dares to be angry and dare not speak. Is the fruit bad? Rich in vitamins. For a fart. Dragon Lady said. This shabby thing is only worthy of lower creatures. Hear this. The lady boss is more aggrieved. After all, the food that people have worked so hard to find. Just being scoffed at. I was injured picking these fruits myself. Take off your boots and check. Under normal circumstances, we know. When a person exercises for half a day, taking off the shoes instantly has absolute lethality. But the lady boss took it off like this. Instead, it aroused the most primitive impulse of a creature. Dragon Lady strode forward. Hold each other's feet. It doesn't matter if it's hygienic or not. This beef is for sure. Looking at the two people pulling each other. But Xiaobai on the side was so excited. Don't fight. What moves are coming from me? Then he was punched and kicked. This stone dragon lady also began to complain about her dissatisfaction. Don't think I don't know why you came forward and got beaten up. Aren't you just reluctant to hand over the heifer? I thought we had been together for so long. You will choose to look at the pitiful dragon lady who is hesitant to speak. Xiaobai immediately expressed his surprise at this. I am rain and dew. But I appreciate you more. What happened at that time? You agree that I joined. What are you talking about? Xiaobai didn't understand. You straight man. How can a girl understand this kind of thing? To step up the adult ladder, right? Dragon Lady also said that she only needs a little bit for a while. Huh? Xiaobai said that it is our relationship. It's okay to give you more. It's enough to have you. The voice just fell. I saw Longyang to Cheongdaeger County. Remove a horn from the head. As a dagger to the heifer. Kego bovine. Not too much. You said 3 people did that kind of thing. Since it is to divide the heifers. Xiaobai watched as the dragon lady plucked a corner of her head. I'm going to click the heifer. And the heifer was screaming in fright. But still force calm. Curse wrong Nyang, I can't fart if I eat too much. What a vicious curse. Dragon lady, listen. They all stopped to understand the cow's hand. You're going to eat people up. They say people are mean. And heifer wasn't going to let them do it. Xeniu screamed for help. But just then, in the depths of the forest, there were also cries for help. They overlap. It caught the attention of Xiaobai and Long Niang. It seems that the other side is more attractive. Then the 3 of them cleared up. Put the eating thing aside. I followed the call for help and touched it. Just see, the princess brother is about to hit the princess. And the princess brother is also a villain. You just cut your throat. No one will come to your rescue. What does fugitive mean? Don't you know what the woods are going to do? The princess is naturally garbage and lives are exported together. And as soon as the princess brother hears the trash, I got more excited. You haven't looked at me since I was a kid. And today I will make you as different as I am. Become. I saw the princess brother wave his hand. The princess who just got dressed and didn't cut off entered a state of battle damage again. And Xiaobai, who was hiding and peeking. I was also taken aback by the skill of this guy. And the highest combat power in the trio, Dragon Lady. I was terrified to hear the word hand to catch the ex-dragon. I thought it was a special attack against dragons. Such a scene. Xiaobai does not come forward to act as a partner of justice. It's really hard to say. But I am a player. Definitely can't beat this guy. This is a prelude. Real swords and real guns are still a while away. But just as Xiaobai was about to calm down, heifer can't sit still. A stone was thrown. Shout stop. Have. Now don't calm down. Heifer is righteous. But you are in the eyes of the princess brother. It's meat on a chopping block. The princess also kindly reminded the heifer to hurry up. You are no match for this person in front of you. But heifer was confident. I'm definitely not fighting. But this knight is very strong. Saying that, he dragged Xiaobai to the front of him. What else can Xiaobai say when he looks at the 2 in front of him? Xiaobai, although I was pushed out by someone. But it's also to save you. Princess, what's with the way you look at trash? Take it back to me. But just then, the princess and his brother caught the ex-dragon with one move and waved. hold Zhao Bai's throat directly. I was careless, the distance was too close. No way to defend. The princess and his brother have long wanted to send Zhao Bai away. Obviously a handsome trash. My sister is obsessed with you. Why? You still have so many stunning beasts. Speaking of which, the strength in my hands has increased a bit. At this time, Zhao Bai actually raised his finger to the princess, his brother. Nima. Death is imminent. Showing off to Lao Tzu. No. Zhao Bai means that I think two are good. Then the princess and his brother looked around. Why didn't I see that little female dragon next to you? Why didn't he come to save you? Where is the dragon lady? Still hiding in the bushes. After all, the sentence just now grabbed X-Dragon Claw hand. Scared him. But Zhao Bai is in danger now. There is no way. Brave dragons are not afraid of difficulties. Princess, he didn't even see the figure of Dragon Lady. Keep mocking us. Zhao Bai took a look. The little female dragon also despises you. This trash hiding between a woman's legs. But the little white book can't lose. Can't beat you. Can still be harder than you. Hiding under the mother's skirt and shivering. Those who only dare to show off their might in the woods. It should be you, right? His Royal Highness the Prince of Trash. The true damage effect of this sentence is outstanding. Let the princess and his brother use their hands. Just as Zhao Bai blushed. When his eyes were about to roll over. Just look at the righteous NPC above the other party's head. Sudden change. He has become an NPC like himself. Sure enough, in this game, once the character deviates from the settings given by the system, you will become a senior. I see Small Bai raised his hand and pressed it on the princess' head. An earth kiss smashed each other's face to the ground. Same disqualification. I can still be cut by you. Damn it. I saw Zhao Bai pressing the other party. Infinite repetition of the earth kiss. The pain kills you. Just when you are playing hard. Ding on the top of the head. The whitening progress bar that was originally 0 has actually increased by 20. Just as Zhao Bai pressed the other party. When the earth kiss is repeated indefinitely. Suddenly I heard a ding above my head. The whitening progress bar that was originally 0 has actually increased by 20. Is it fighting with yourself? It's about the player. To confirm the authenticity, Zhao Bai lightly slapped the other party again. Sure enough, the progress bar went up again. Understand. The harder you hit, the more points you get. That being the case, a scumbag like the princess's brother, it's not too much to blow up a few thousand points. The idea is good. But the princess was one step ahead. A sword went in. Then he scolded and inserted. Look, scare the kids. Zhao Bai doesn't bother anymore. Holding the dragon mother and the heifer, I planned to pull the house with the organ. But just then, the princess' voice came from behind. Leave without a word. Not suitable. Little Ba looks back. Look at the justice that looks like stainless steel on the princess's head. The title of the MP competition. I can't help but sigh that this woman is too scary. Is it still justice? And the heifer suddenly shouted for help. I'm not with them. Xiaobai hugged him. It's time to get smarter. Tell you to die together. And Dragon Lady, it was also left by the 5,000 chrysanthemums of the princess just now. Shivering. I want Xiaobai to think of a way. But the princess who was murderous just now changed her style. He patted Xiaobai's shoulder with a spring breeze on his face. Indicates Xiaobai's heroic behavior just now. Let your impression of him change. The previous thing is written off. After all, I am not. What a moody and cruel crown prince. Certainly, I also need you to kiss the toes of this princess in surrender. Saying that, the princess raised her white silk jade feet. That being said, but what the princess wanted was for Xiaobai to refuse. After all, anyone who has seen their embarrassed appearance has to die. But unfortunately, we Xiaobai don't play according to the routine like this. Pout. Bub. Do you think this strength is okay? The princess thought. Xiaobai will refuse to kiss his white silk jade. But who would have thought that this thread would do the opposite? Pout. Dial up. Do you think this strength is okay? This move can make the princess lose control. Is there something wrong? In a panic, the body fell back. Xiaobai also took the opportunity to hug it. And I can't help but think about this pose. And Xiaobai's attack is not over yet. Saying earthy love words with a greasy face. The princess blushed. As disgusting as that sounds. But I don't know why I want to hear it again. But just when Xiaobai wanted to go further. When 5 fingers interlock with each other's toes. The princess pushed Xiaobai away with a palm. No way. If it goes on like this, it won't be the bus to the kindergarten. Plan through. Sure enough, a mother fetus single dog who has lived in a dragon cave since childhood. I can't stand Xiaobai's greasy attack. Dude is still outperforming today. The heifer is dumbfounded here. What is it? But the dragon lady enjoyed it. Smell the tantalizing smell in the air. Xiaobai seems to have fried meat with oil today, which is particularly fragrant. Just when the princess felt, I've suffered enough humiliation today. When planning to leave, but bumped into, came to find his own bodyguard. The guard saw the princess except for her clothes. Others are intact. Express confidence. But what about His Royal Highness? Look sideways. The one who beat the mosaic. It will make the princess also rush to explain. This is the excrement of some giant creature. Do you understand? Definitely not my brother's body. As soon as the guard heard it, he laughed. It turned out to be like this. I thought it was fecal matter. It was a corpse. As soon as this sentence comes out, the princess is no longer acting. Prepare to kill. But when you do it, other guards come. Heard everything. Shout out the truth. I don't know why. From killing the prince to the prince. Go to the last issue. I suddenly feel like I don't need to kill anyone. But the princess was completely unaware of the seriousness of the problem. The guards rushed to the imperial capital non-stop. Tell the king what happened. The king was furious. You said the princess was going to give me and his mother 7 heads. Wait a minute. What does the first 7 mean? The princess is getting more and more outrageous. To the king and queen. It's all about giving these ode to a head-to-head. But the setting of our game is the West. Who knows? The reported guard expressed his apologies. From China. Explain that to me. The first 7 means that he wants to kill the 5th army. That's okay. Go out and chase someone. Why are you still pointing the finger at your own family? The king also immediately exterminated his relatives righteously. Post a bounty. Not for a while. The bounty was delivered. Has become the hands of an impeachy princess. Bounty is gold coins. The goblins in the next village are taller than you. Zhao Bai looked at the photo of the princess as a child on the reward order. Why do people grow bigger? It gets bigger in every sense. How good was it? Zhao Bai thought. You can see a princess named after the villain. Deus Ex. But who would have thought? The guards who came said we had a bounty. This is what your parents meant. To beat them up. The existence of your kingdom is also a high incense. Zhao Baibin still wants to be safe. Comfort the poor princess. But the princess doesn't care about Zhao Bai's comfort at all. Grab the bounty. Shredded. There are limits to stupidity. Such a delicate photo. With this cheap price. Dying will only lead to perversion. Real killers have pursuits. How could I possibly accept such an order? Then he threw the confetti away. Just hit it at some point. Appeared on the head of the blue-haired girl behind. Look at the other party's bow and arrow posture. Isn't this the killer? 10 gold coins. Are you just not pursuing it? Or are you a pervert? Hear the last sentence. The white-haired girl's eyes glowed red. The bow that was originally put away in his hand was pulled up again. Just when everyone was scratching their heads. The heifer, who hadn't spoken for several nights, found a clue. It's a crocodile bone bow. Arrows made of porcupine thorns. Is it? Zhao Bai was also surprised. You milkman know this guy. The heifer explained, trembling. This blue-haired girl is from the Black Grim family. And it is the only one in the Black Green family. A top killer with Shiba Noble Soul Rescue teeth. One of them, Ilariel. Ilariel on a pig. The strongest killer. Usually this is the case. Zhao Bai should have been talking about the scenery long ago. But now I just think this killer's name is so low. But if it's what Heifer said, then the scenery should really be ignored. It's still a legal impeachee after all. But just then, the dragon lady beside Zhao Bai trotted all the way. Came to Elaine. Lift each other's skirts while saying hello. Are you riding a porcupine? Are you sure? It's so like you. Strongest creature on the surface. Ask whatever you want to ask. And the onlookers on the side, hesitant about the identity of this person. After all, who would give up a porcupine? Although it appears to maintain respect. Strict. In fact, the butt is already riddled with holes. Just say a word to me. It's getting louder. All into Irariel. Look at him blushing. Holding the porcupine under him with both hands. The painful porcupine squeaked. Just at this moment, Wi Zhaobai stood up. To suspect the unwavering buttocks of a young girl. That's really rude. Rumors stop with the wise. Let me see my butt. Saying, Zhao Bai stepped forward and lifted the other party's skirt. I took a closer look. Then tell everyone that they are healthy and smooth. Where is it riddled with holes? Then he swaggered back. The princess asked Zhao Bai if he had found anything. Is his flaw in the lower order? Well, this one. Zhao Bai thought for a moment. Gave his own answer. What does he think the so-called killer in front of him is? Maybe a liar. Hear this. The heifer still said. It is absolutely impossible for me to read it wrong. But you tell me. Why would a top killer will wear pink bunny panties? As soon as this sentence comes out, the girl's face turned even redder. And Zhao Bai and Dragon Lady were still laughing. Then Zhao Bai couldn't laugh anymore. Now he just feels a tingling in his butt. Look back. The girl's sword has been stabbed in her butt. And the bow and arrow are surrounded by. It's the Black Grim family's ciphertext bad blood spell. It's really a bow and arrow today. Eyes open. Say that my little white is too knowledgeable. Who says someone wearing strawberry bunny underwear is not a killer? Princess, look at Zhao Bai. after being forced to open his eyes because of his shallow knowledge. It is also to make sure that the person in front of you is not an idle person. It seems that although this Ilariel has a delicate butt, but what you shoot out is pretty hard. That alone is enough to get me excited. Princess, what kind of tiger and wolf words are you talking about? Just look at the princess, wave of hand. A cannon appeared out of thin air. I have to. Zhao Bai is still a little curious. Princess, where did this cannon escape from? But this raw cow X. Praise or praise. Hear the word. Heifer is not happy. Facing Zhao Bai with a red face is a hammer. Princess steps on cannon. Declare war on Ilari. Today we are not male or female. Just to see who is the hardest woman. Ilariel was arrogant all his life. Jump up. The porcupine seemed to have received an order. Directly the pig lunged towards the princess. I saw Ilariel in the air with his eyes closed. Chant a spell in your mouth and the evening breeze is cool. Blow without but. Enemy the strong with the weak. Thunderbolt, thunderbolt. Don't look at this spell. But at the moment when the mantra ends, a sharp sword emerged from the string. And the heifer also found this blasting spell with explosive properties on it. And the porcupine approaches at the same time. Up and down pinch. There's no going back. Just then, Zhao Bai's armor is on fire. A fire wall geese full. I saw a wall of fire several meters high set off in front of everyone in an instant. The porcupine stopped when it saw the wall of fire. But Ilariel is in trouble. The explosion of the bow and arrow is offset by the wall of fire. The explosive remnant is still there. She was already in a long dress. Even those well-hidden strawberry bunny panties. It was clearly seen by everyone. Zhao Bai is indeed the male protagonist. Critical moments are still reliable. It's just that the dragon lady on the side can't stand it anymore. Some distress saying that the stinky pig is so pitiful. Your butt looks like it was ripped out by a hyena. Oops. Nima. Why are you showing me the firewall? Isn't the firewall beautiful? Zhao Bai's move firewall flame falls. Not only will it slow down the pace of Ilariel's attack, he also burned the other party's clothes so that he could see everything. It's kind of ragged. The princess is by the side. Righteous accusations against Ilariel. Killers just don't see the light. It's a 2-on-1 trick. You are unkind, don't blame me for being unjust. Saying that, I don't know where to get the raspberry cannonball from. See the number of shells. Zhao Bai couldn't help but sigh. Can you be any more outrageous? Okay. Saying that, the princess threw these cannonballs. Stuffed into the cannon. The cannon squeaked in pain. And Ilariel calls out to the porcupine. Look at the porcupine with thorns all over its body. And these thorns all converged into the hands of Ilariel. Form a long red and black whip. The two are tense. One man starts the cannon's lead. The other one wields a whip. But Zhao Bai loudly stopped the princess. You are now poetry and peachy. Nima expired. But how could the princess listen? Boom. The shells that arrived as scheduled were not seen. Instead, a pile of pale yellow liquid spewed from the muzzle. Out of the forest, Ilariel was caught off guard. What's going on here? Dragon Lady was the first to stand up and give the answer. Your cannon is diarrhea. And the cannon burst into tears. It can't be any worse inside. Hear this. Princess takes flight. Kick this disgraceful cannon aside. Then he explained awkwardly and politely. It was diarrhea. But also normal. After all, there are times when the state is not good. The princess sees her strongest trump card. Make it look like a joke. Take a step back. Pointed at a little white. I lost my opponent to you. Zhao Bai is not happy to hear it. If you can't beat it, you'll admit it. Fast enough. Can't fight anymore. But the princess said that it is brave to fight well. If you can't fight, you're stupid. Forget it, forget it. Zhao Bai doesn't plan to continue arguing with the princess. Pull up the heifer and the dragon lady and quickly seal and pull. The princess heard this. But another face. Smiling, he posted it with his pair of peaks. In the eyes of outsiders, in this scene, Zhao Bai quite means a winner in life. But in fact they have their own ghosts. One wants to run away. The other is trying to escape. Non-existent. Die together. The princess cannon lost here. Nothing can be done. I want Zhao Bai to attack for me. But who is Zhao Bai? Can they be used by you? If he can run first, he must be the first to run. The princess sees this. He also grabbed Zhao Bai's arm. All smiles. Maximize your strength. Want to run doesn't exist. Die together. So you come and go. The two reached a consensus. Move slowly into the distance, talk and laugh. Forget it, let's sneak together. But have you considered? I just wiped the Ira curtain off my body. Zhao Bai heard a sentence from behind. Have you had enough trouble? It's just a double shot. Hundreds of fields open. I thought it was the smoke that obscured the view. Can slow down each other's footsteps. But what Zhao Bai didn't expect was Ilariel had already come behind him with a bow and arrow. Propose rather than hide. It's better to do a real fight. I thought it was all over this time. Dragon Lady who has never worked. But suddenly stood between the two. Hands on your hips. Justifiably. But you can do it. But I have to do it with you. He can't because of the stinky pig. As soon as this sentence comes out, Xiaobai and Elro were both silent. No way. What doesn't work? We're not to. Long, I'm still very happy that you saved me. But you say I can't. I can't stand it anymore. Just as Xiaobai and Dragon Niang were arguing about the failure of their true intentions. Or occasionally not. Ilariel on the side couldn't take it anymore. You are dirty. Saying a few bows and arrows, he took off his shoes. Xiaobai also wants Dragon Lady to be careful. But who knew that the other party opened his mouth? Take it all according to the order, it's crunchy. Xiaobai was stupid to see this and cannibalism. You are still human. If not, spit it out. Pulling Elro again. If your thorn gets our child's throat stuck, you have to take care. But the Dragon Lady is full of confidence and fuss. I am a dragon. The top kind. What's that? Not digested. But speaking of which, Dragon Lady looked at the porcupine beside her with bad intentions. Compared to thorns, I actually prefer delicious pigs. I haven't waited for the pig to react yet. Dragon Lady will take the tiger down the mountain with one move. Go straight to each other. Ilariel's own mount is in trouble. Hurry up and chant the mantra. The 18 old teeth worn on the head glow bright red. Looks like it's going to be real. Yeah. Don't move the real thing now. I will not be the original Elaine in the future. After the Dragon Lady ate the arrow shot by Elaine, immediately appetite. A pounce. I'm going to touch other people's mounts. Can this person agree? Ilariel squeezes out the sand trick. Pinching fingers. I used to have those 18 old teeth on my hand. Shining bright red. Red and black smoke gathered in an instant. Heifer yells badly. He is absorbing the surrounding demonic energy. The voice just fell, so my legs went limp. Limp to the ground. Sure enough, it's like a low-level monster like a heifer. Mother can't resist such a strong suction force at all. On the other hand, Long Niang sighed. Although claiming to be the best. But I can't stand the other party absorbing the devil energy like this. And Xiaobai's side. Also rush forward. Hug the Dragon Lady from the back. Tell each other not to move. Lock and grind for you. Demon energy will no longer be absorbed. But the Dragon Lady's cheeks are even redder. Not because of something else. Whitey's chest behind him was hotter than lava. And on Ilariel's side. Accelerate the absorption of magic energy. The suction was actually stronger than before. Dragon Niang is also a move to clamp the thighs. Fly into Xiaobai's arms. And Xiaobai has the expression of a winner in life. Opened the shield. The princess and the heifer were not so lucky. The sharpness of demonic energy plus entanglement. make the two physically unstable and fall together. This scene really feasted Xiaobai's eyes. But due to the debt, put a shield on these two. Two people separate, everything is fleeting. But just then, Dragon Lady seemed to feel something. Look back. The red magic gathers. He became an old man with a huge axe. You can also use a stand-in messenger. This is too much, informed Heifer. After seeing this so-called stand-in messenger, trembling all over. Have you said it before? Ilariel's family will hunt down nobles. Once in the torrent of history. Those extremely cruel nobles. But they didn't die when they were hunted. They're mediated by the molars. Become the exclusive killer for users. Bluebeard was summoned. I also received an order from Elaine. Holding a giant axe, he rushed towards Xiaobai and Rong Niang. Bluebeard is worthy of being a once extremely brutal aristocrat. Full of foul language. I want to make Dragon Lady my bride. But just then, when in danger, Xiaobai, who will seal tightly. But he held the Dragon Lady tightly in his arms. Say it out loud. Forcing someone is not a gentleman's behavior. Didn't you hear him say no? Xiaobai finally got a man once. But there is a price. I saw that Bluebeard's demonic energy had already entangled Xiaobai. And the Dragon Lady also noticed. Xiaobai hugged his arm. It's already full of blood. Although the Dragon Lady continues to struggle, let Xiaobai put himself down quickly. Otherwise the hand will really break. But Xiaobai is drinking Dragon Lady no matter what. I won't let him go. This old lamp in front of me. He actually wants to make a minotaur in front of himself. How can this pure love party of Laozi bear it? Eat shit. Bluebeard looked at Xiaobai's righteous words. Listen to Xiaobai's speech of pure love. When even if you can't bear the binding of the accelerated demonic energy. Fortunately, Xiaobai took the opportunity to break free. Jump up. It's just that Bluebeard's bloody mouth is in front of him. If you don't succeed, you will become benevolent. Xiaobai immediately took the Dragon Lady in her arms. Throw it to the princess in the back. And myself entered Bluebeard's mouth without hesitation. A strong man will never be a cuckold slave. Watching Whitey being swallowed by Bluebeard. The originally panicked Dragon Lady. An angry purple light flashed in his eyes. And Xiaobai, who entered Bluebeard's body, was a blessing in disguise. Found a way to defeat Bluebeard. But the three outside are a little miserable. But Bluebeard didn't kill him immediately. Instead, the prey needs to be molested more. Wow, sarcastic. Don't forget to sell yourself. But the Dragon Lady, who was silent for a long time, immediately expressed no refusal. You don't even have anything to prove you're a man. I'm not marrying you. then to friendly international gestures. Instead, Bluebeard broke the defense. The princess on the side hit him instead. Love him so much. Even the gestures of disrespect to others are so well matched. I forgot it. This is going to hang up. Are you still drinking CP here? But although Bluebeard broke the defense and cried bitterly. But perverts are perverts. I got more excited, sticking out a tongue full of saliva. I want to have a good taste of this arrogant little dragon. And the dragon lady's wings stretch out. When the other person's tongue is about to be cut open. Blood flow. Dragon lady radiates radiance. The human dragon form appears again. Just the thought of your tongue makes you angry. Obviously, he didn't even explore the stinky pig here. He actually soaked your stinky mouth first. I was so angry. The consequences are serious. Dragon Lady thought that Xiaobai was still among the stinky pigs with blue beards. I'm not angry. Flap your wings. The fire was raging. Rap Bluebeard. Burn your old lamp. But the fire looks fierce and dangerous. But it only burned Bluebeard's clothes. The temperature is just right. Even enjoy. Dragon Lady was a little surprised by her attack. However, no damage was done. Ilariel on the side said it was too naive. Bluebeard died in a burning castle in a previous life. After death, burned by hellfire day and night. You, a dragon who has not yet fully awakened his bloodline. How could it possibly hurt him? Bluebeard was almost twisted in the flames. Ilariel also ordered the other party to hurry up. But Bluebeard refused. I said it just now. Kill the prey directly. Not a good hunter. Talking room. Strips of black demonic energy attack the dragon lady. Wherever the devil goes, clothes are eroded. See this scene. Ilariel couldn't help but close his eyes. Really low level. Do you low-level people like to call others low-level so much? Hear a familiar voice. Ilariel couldn't believe his ears. Isn't this voice the swallowed Xiaobai? And Wolfbeard. He was also startled by the sound that suddenly came out of his body. Just then, several flying swords suddenly appeared around. Keep stabbing at Bluebeard. But Bluebeard didn't panic at all. With just a few broken swords, how can you break through the armor of your own bones? A big axe, the flying sword disappeared into the dust. When the smoke clears, Bluebeard looked around for signs of the splash. But Xiaobai said not to look for it. In your softest part. I saw Xiaobai break out of the cocoon with a flying sword in hand. The blow was so painful that Bluebeard let go of his axe. Fall towards the ground. Dragon Lady drops the axe. Help push the two around you away. Gravel sweeps away dust. And Xiaobai is at this time to disperse the covered dust. He took off his coat and draped it over the Dragon Lady's body. The loser even lost his underwear. Lost or not lost? Who says dragons can't be saved by knights? A knight is here. Heroes save beauty really enduring. First hit the blue beard hard. After the sun, he saved the Dragon Lady. Don't be too handsome with this set of operations, okay? What happens next? It should be the knife mouth of the proud Dragon Lady. Tofu heart link. Arrogance is arrogance. But this process, it's a little different from what Xiaobai thought. Words are still the same words. But it's in the middle. Inserted a link where a small fist punches your chest. This fist is like a hammer, tapping on Xiaobai's fragile chest. Spit out a mouthful of old blood. Rely on. No way. I can't let him act like a spoiled child anymore. He's so coquettish. On the side, Bluebeard, who had just been severely injured by Xiaobai, didn't fight back. Instead, I watched with tears streaming down my face. Warm and happy scene. Can't help but remind Bluebeard of his wife who personally slashed her. Xiaobai said, "Don't compare our pure love to a pervert like you." Bluebeard is also not pretending. The wound opened by Xiaobai just now. A lot of demonic energy was pouring out. I'll let you see for yourself in a while. Your Dragon Lady was torn apart by me. What kind of scene? See the opponent's posture in this final battle. Xiaobai also let the Dragon Lady hang on him. Hide behind. But just then, an accident happened. Xiaobai suddenly felt a sharp pain in his butt. It turned out that the Dragon Lady was crawling down from under herself. His little foot just happened to step on. Still on Xiaobai's butt. Bone spurs. And Dragon Lady is also welcome. Stepping once is not enough. Another kick. Pain. It really hurts. Meet Xiaobai. Use the dazzling light on the sword of power directly. Flashes. Bluebeard can't open his eyes. Then a series of slashes announced the end of the battle. Could have solved the battle handsomely. Why is this happening? And Dragon Lady is still heartless. Hugging Xiaobai's neck and shouting, "Stinky pig, stick, stick." Thanks to getting rid of the wolf beard, my whitewashing progress has been adjusted a bit. The butt doesn't hurt that much, otherwise I really don't know how it will end. But just then, Ilariel leaps to his feet. Several bone spurs ejected. Although Xiaobai has a block, Bibi still took an arrow. Ilariel also questioned Xiaobai. Obviously powerful. Why are you still teasing me? After all, you are the legal impeachee. You can't beat it. As for why I teased you, because it's kind of interesting. Facing the menacing Ilariel, Xiaobai is also a move with blood stains on his arm. Your face. Then the spell of the wind escapes. There was a gust of wind. There are some Ilari who can't open their eyes. Close your eyes again. Wait until it opens again. Where is there still a trace of Xiaobai and his party? I saw Xiaobai carrying two on his shoulders. Hand on one, run wild. This scene. The princess couldn't help but sigh. Heifer and Dragon Lady, you two didn't move your legs either. What are you panting for? Just then, Xiaobai's feet were accidentally tripped to the ground. Dragon Lady flies directly out. But landing. It seems that he is powerless to run now. The princess found a cliff ahead. And Ilari in the back. And this crazy woman who is chasing after her. Unless someone can fly. Saying that, everyone looked at the Dragon Lady. Silent for a long time. Dragon Lady can't help but ask. So which one of you can fly? Vomit. Critical moment. Still have to rely on witty Xiaobai. Sure enough, Xiaobai opened his mouth. Old stable military heart. But come up with an idea. What pants are you taking off? And Ilariel is also riding a porcupine. Rushed to the edge of the cliff. Looking down the cliff, I saw a few pieces of clothing hanging on a branch not far away. Did they fall off a cliff? But just then, the porcupine sniffed. Indicates that there is a small hut not far from Ilariel. The porcupine even banged its head on the door. Ilariel got it. It seems they are hiding in this room. But just then, flashed between the doors, a dark shadow. Ilariel is also quick to see. Grab each other's throats. Take a closer look by the light. It was actually a wolf girl. Release girl. So did Ilariel. Several grass baskets placed in the house. Just about to walk over, but was stopped by the wolf girl. The wolf girl cried and said, "Your chokehold." Just like the night just now. Upon hearing this, Ilariel also hurriedly helped the other party up. I hurt myself by mistake. The wolf girl is not polite. Take the opportunity to hug Ilariel. Tell each other. The knight asked himself the remaining direction. And he left. Mention the virgin. The wolf girl is also embarrassed. It's super scary to go in there in the evening. But like my sister, the cute girl who dares to show the cute rabbit. Hear this. Ilariel is also a little shy. This kid has vision. The next second, the wolf girl's style changed. It's going to kill you. The first was crushed by those people who were even more ruthless.